All right, guys. Hey, guys, I wanted to go ahead and do this real quickly. I don't want to take a lot of your time. I know it's a Sunday, but I'm going to give you a list of things that you need to be considering. Okay. First off, I'll go ahead and preface this with Brian Lamont Roberts is not a network marketer. Anything that I suggest here is just a suggestion. It is not an opportunity to invest. I'm not making any claims or telling you that things are going to work in your favor. It's just not what this is. This is literally for your informational purposes only, and you can go ahead and educate yourself. All I am is a gateway to help others. That's it. I just want to give you a gateway that you can use for your own benefit. I don't even really, I'm not a network. I'm just not the guy that cares whether you do something or don't do something. I really don't. But that being said, if I see something that can help you in the health and wellness space, as we've discussed, like your Live Goods, I actually take the stuff myself. So if you're not a product of the product, you can miss me with the whole idea of telling me anything, because I do come from a sales background. So I get how that works, and I just don't buy it. I really don't. So there it is in a nutshell. Now, I wanted to talk to you about positivity because Mary was actually in town this weekend. Unfortunately, I was in DC from Positivity, and we will be doing some things with Positivity. As I look at the screen and I see my skin, I'm trying to tell you, this Live Good and New Me stuff, yeah, you might want to grab you some, because for a dude that's about to turn 52, and yeah, that gray is real because I don't put any dyes or anything in my hair. Yeah, go ahead and get you some New Me. Get you some New Me, get you some Live Good, if you can afford it. And what I'm about to tell you is going to help you afford it, okay? So let's talk about the Baker's Dozen, first and foremost, because I just want to get that out of the way. Since we started in a savings program, that's what Baker's Dozen basically is, guys. It's a trust program. If for whatever reason you cannot continue, you will lose in that case, but I don't want that to happen to anyone. You know how I do things, right? So we are a support system to one another. So just open up, be clear, and take it seriously, because you are your brother's keeper. That's how this works, okay? So I have a list of all the names. I'm proud of all of you. Bobby did get his blessing 100%. He was actually shocked, just to be honest with you, and I want all of you to be shocked. And I know Linda is up on the pitch next, so congratulations to you, Linda. And then comes Iris. So that's around November for Iris. So Linda would be October, and we're going to do that by the October 22nd. I'm going to try to make it that weekend, the third weekend, somewhere in that area, right? So I want to be clear that we keep it pretty consistent, right? So that's going to give you a blessing of about $1,200. That's every single person, right? And because it's going to bless you with $1,200, you have an opportunity to, each person will put in $100, right? And it's really just a savings program. It's going to go as long as we go, right? And as we grow. But we're literally going to continue it every single month. And so that means Bobby will participating 11 more months, right? To make sure everyone else, or 12 more months, to make sure everyone else gets blessed. So technically he gives that money back. But guess what? He was able to do some things this month. And the way we're doing it still creates a little bit of anticipation, because I don't even know who the next three are going to be after these next two are blessed. So any one of you has an opportunity to be a part of that, right? So there is a level of suspense. But the only reason I created this is I'm tired of watching you suffer. I'm tired of watching you struggle. I'm tired of watching you work all the time and never have ends or means to do things that you really could be doing to advance the ball and advance your life. I present a lot of things, and yes, I presented Live Good, and that's the cheapest thing that we have, really, to be honest with you. $50. I don't know if it gets any cheaper than $50. I mean, who hasn't wasted that on a group of kids, a car full of kids at McDonald's, right? So $50 initially and $10 a month. If you can't do that, then you don't get it. I mean, that's all I can say. You just don't get it. But the thing I like about Live Good, the reason I lock it in at $140 is literally you have an opportunity to just be in the ball game. And you don't want to lose your position from the ball game. At least I don't, right? And if you do, that's fine. That's your business. But I'm locked in because I gave them the $140, and now I just build from there, right? But that being said, I'm really a product of the product, because I'm buying this stuff dirt cheap. This has the collagen in it and some reds. But I'm buying this stuff dirt cheap, and as compared to what I was doing before with my, Juice Plus. I mean, I think it was $50 for a month's supply, one product, one thing, right? Or how about my Melaleuca, right? Which was even more laughable because that's $79.99 for just the pills, just for the peak performance. You can look everything I say up. Please don't believe in me. I'm a consumer, right? So I've literally up until now just been a consumer. I consumed the stuff. I never sold Melaleuca because I just didn't believe everybody could afford $80 a month. I'm just gonna be honest, right? I just didn't, you know, and I didn't think people could see the full value. So I waited until a product like Live Good came out. And when Dr. Stan first introduced me to it, I thought to myself, man, this is a no-brainer if this stuff even works a little bit. And to my surprise, with it being certified organic, it works beautifully, and it allowed me to replace quite a few things, right? In so saying that, because I did have, and I don't mind telling you, and it stemmed from, you know, I don't know, I guess being the youngest in the family, and you know, some of the things that happened in my life, in my past. I had an anger problem when I was young. I just had an anger problem. It wasn't going to be a problem if you didn't make it a problem, but boy, if you made it a problem, I want to participate. I'm just telling you the truth, right? But I also played football, so I could hide it in football. But when I wasn't playing the sport, just don't anger me. And so when I went to Howard University for the program, I actually had to go through the emotions of, hey, I lost Uncle Noah. Hey, that caused me not to go to Howard and become the architect or attorney or whichever the decision I was going to make at that time, because I was going to declare at that time. And that one cousin that you saw in there, William Skill Sherman, did get that opportunity. He's 11 years older than me. He's 62 now, going on 63, and he's actually edging towards retirement from Dinsmore and Show. He's partner of that law firm. He's the gentleman that represented Toyota when they had the issues with the Prius is breaking, and need I not say, he's a seven-figure earner, right? And I sat and watched that in my family. You know, we had people that really earned a lot. We were blessed to see that, a bunch of educators. And I felt like I was the one who got the short end of the stick, which some of you may feel. Granddaddy had died well before I could ever, honestly, he died before I could talk. I was 3 months old, right? My mom was 40 when she had me, so it just left me with not much left. You know, Granddaddy was, I think he was in his 70s. I can look it up, but he was almost 70. Yeah, he was almost 70 because I was a 71 baby, so that would have been 72. Oh, dang, he was right there. And so, but born in 1902. So he lived a man's reasonable life expectancy, but he was working in the coal mines. And so he was a servant. Grandma was a servant as well. She cleaned people's homes, you know, wealthy people's homes. And back then that was honorable living, right? But you have to remember what God told me. He said, stop attending to Pharaoh's business, get up and build for your people. Because my ask was, why are our people always on the front lines? That's what the whole Jason Hargrove thing is about. Here's a man who's a bus driver. Nothing wrong with being a bus driver. But when the chips were down, he couldn't take off. He couldn't just say, you know what, I've actually earned enough. This is a good place to retire. He had to go to work anyway, right? Slaving as a bus driver, and then on the side being a DJ. Honorable stuff, nothing wrong with it. Good man. Fought for his people's lives. Didn't want this lady coughing on his people, and ended up losing his own life. Now the Spirit said to me immediately, it's not that your people are cursed. Kind of like I thought I was cursed in my family because I was the youngest and I missed every doggone thing. Grandma died, you know, right before my 16th birthday. She was a ripe old age. I just wasn't ready for her to go. She was 89, to be honest with you guys. I mean, she was up in age. But her dementia caused her to leave this earth. And that is just a horrible thing to watch, which is why I care about health and wellness. I'm a real simplistic dude. Mama had high blood pressure and cancer. My father had cancer. So I'm a high-risk candidate. And I think many of us, especially in the African-American community, don't even pay attention to those things. High risk for diabetes, high risk for cancer, high risk for whatever. High risk, we ain't got time. We got to go to work. And so that's why Diamond VIP was born. And it was born in a atmosphere of giving, right? That's how it was born. And so everything else is just a blessing that we have. And so I'm going to tell you what is the HODL and why they're HODLs, meaning these are the things we're going to hold. Positivity, you can earn up to 36% per year. And these are microloans in Kenya. Yes, it is legal. No, you cannot touch that money for an entire year. But if you ever heard of something called 401k, you can't touch that money either. So think of that in that vein as retirement, okay? I don't know what you're doing for retirement right now, but I can tell you right now, 36% is a lot of money. If that's, what is that, 100, let's say it's $200,000, 36%, that's incredible to even think about. 36% of $200,000 is $72,000 a year. Who doesn't want an additional? Okay, again, this is just a disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. Previous gains do not reflect what your current conditions could be, because we do have to understand there is an economy out there, and there are some negatives in the economy, and some things can affect where we are, but we're just going off of where they were previously. And I just think that's just, it's just amazing, right? Or 12% roughly on the year for someone who puts in, say $1,000, I think $1,000 it'll yield you that 12%. You don't have to put anything in. You could actually build up to that as an affiliate, meaning you signed up and then you're getting other affiliates in, and you could earn that way too. But you should think of that as a lending institution, okay? Because my whole goal when I created this was the idea of showing you places where you can be the boss. Don't necessarily have to go to the bank, you can be the boss, okay? That's all it is. I didn't say close out your bank account, didn't say anything like that. You have the opportunity. Okay, so that's positivity. We got that out of the way. Trenton will be doing some trainings on SMSS token, because if you really start to understand what the liquidity pool is, there are some great opportunities for you to earn some money there. He'll show you how to do that. And again, nothing's guaranteed. It does go up and down because it's a part of a market. So I want you to know that the risks are there, right? But they're not crazy risk, right? They're reasonable risk. And so we've got that too off on the side. Something to remember, there is a halving coming up on cryptocurrency, and that is coming up in April. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this because I want you to understand. When I decided to do the Baker's Dozen, it was so specifically some of you could have monies to invest in some of these things. Now you've got $1,000 you can put over in positivity, earn up to 12% on. Blessing, blessing, blessing. That's $120 in a year. That's better than what you're doing now, right? And I mean, not guaranteed, but pretty doggone close, right? And so just off the previous years, what it's done before. So you have an opportunity there. There will be a recession coming up. There will be some businesses laying people off, just like what happened to Stefan. It was very ironic that it happened right before we pulled into my home, and I just thought, that's insane. And so Stefan is on board with our team. Also, Art Olivant is on board with our team. Now, what does Art bring to the table? Everything. His work in the past. I'm telling you right now, if you had a business idea and you wanted an opportunity to get structured properly, $500, Art goes to work for you. And here's the thing about Art. Art will give you more value than $500. I can tell you that right now. Way more value. He's a beautiful man, been blessed of God. He's trusted by his pastor at his church. If the pastor needs anything, he generally goes to him. So you've got him on your side, and I'm telling you right now, that's a powerful tool. We will be consulting together, but I'll put this out here right now. I'm not a majority shareholder in anything that I do at Art Olivant, because I want this man to get credit for what he does. Servant is worthy of his hire. That being said, let's talk about Ecclesiastes. There's a time and a season for everything, because right now this will be our season for reaping. Before this, we're right here in the last quarter, so it's October 1. So that's why I wanted to do this, because I want to give you a kickoff of all kickoffs. I want to give you an understanding of all understandings. Health and wellness for Brian Lamont Roberts is way up here, because I would feel like a demon if I didn't tell you to get healthy before you get wealthy. Nothing worse than you getting wealthy and your family's enjoying the money and you can't even enjoy one thing because you're ill, because you've had a heart attack, because cancer is now wrecking your body. And I'm not telling you these things are cures, they're not, but a healthy body will give you a lot of hope. How about that? Healthy means hope, okay? So we talked about positivity. We talked about the Baker's Dozen. The Baker's Dozen provides that extra increase so you can do whatever with it. So Linda's next up. Now, Linda has that extra increase. I've already talked to Linda. She's thinking about doing e-economy, which actually is going to give her an opportunity to trade Forex and learn it and possibly really increase her opportunities, right? Because it does use AI through Monero, right? So that's a wonderful idea. Something to keep in mind, though, in the Forex community, we already have a Forex software available to us through Bishop Bennett that we donated to the cause over in Ghana, but we have access to it. And then there's also a Forex expert who just loved the camaraderie of our office and the love and the brotherhood of our community, and decided that he really wants to work with the office. We're not even paying this man. Think about this. We're leveraging with him, but we're not paying. He gets an office, right? And I just think that's a beautiful thing, because that's the kind of camaraderie that I expected of all of us, right? That we will learn to work together. That's why we did the offices. On that note, I've invested a lot of money into you guys, and this has pretty much gone free, just so you know. Not really writing it off or anything like that. I just did it out of my own pocket, out of the goodness of my own heart during COVID, because I felt like we're going to suffer, we're going to die if we don't help one another. And so I did it. I could have probably become pretty wealthy if I would have invested it, just knowing some of the things that I know, going to the money show, seeing some of these folks and some of these opportunities that are out there. But I didn't want to leave you behind. This is a rescue mission, okay? This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's none of that junk. I don't believe in those. I would actually turn them, I don't know. That stuff's just weird to me, right? So be careful. Be careful with who you trust, what you trust them with, right? Make sure you know the person. That's why I said, what if you can invest in people? If that investment in people, believe it or not, I'm vetting you. Time to tell you the truth. That's what I'm doing. Look me in the eye. I'm vetting you, right? Okay. So we got positivity out of the way. We got Baker's Dozen out of the way. We have SMS out of the way. But I say pay attention to that, because there is a halving coming up. And I need you to Google halving, cryptocurrency halving, Bitcoin halving, okay? Because that's going to make a difference in the market. And it's predicted to be in April. So this gives you a clear 7 months. That's why I'm not farming you. That's why I'm not, doing those big cattle prods. None of that junk. This is going to be on you. You're going to learn. You're going to want to learn how to download a cryptocurrency wallet. You're going to want to learn what a cold storage wallet is. You're going to want to learn how to use it. I'm still working on that little small crypto miner, because I'm literally getting in position to have as much crypto, a whole block, as I humanly can before that halving, because I know how important that is. So I'm just telling you, word to the wise. Take a look, research it yourself. Again, I am not a financial advisor, so it is very important that when I give you a tip, just utilize it. Do what you can with it. I pray for you. God bless you. If you can always call me, I don't really mind talking to you as to why I said it, but really honestly, I'm not here to guide your bank account. That's just not me. Okay. Now, we also have, let's see, we talked about that. We talked about the Forex. I'm showing you where I'm going, guys. The SMSS, me personally, what's out in front. We talked about the Live Good. We talked about hodling, right? What things we'll hodl with. When I say hodl, I'm saying these are the things that I'm going to be on top of, and I will put my money long term. That would be like a positivity, right? We talked about Art Olivant. We talked about his financial prowess. All of this stuff that I'm basically saying to you will be up on the Diamond VIP website. Something I want to talk to you about now is completely out of the freaking box, so I need your brain, okay? So we have an opportunity, and that is Cuba Gooding Jr.'s opportunity. Well, actually, it's not his, it's Mars Callahan, but he works with Cuba, and Cuba is over the film area for View It TV. Now, let's talk about return on investment, because none of this stuff I'm going to say to you matters unless you can put some money in your pocket. And so I'm giving you a formula to put money in your pocket. If you came to me, said I have $100, the first thing I'm going to suggest you do is go over to Live Good, right? Because $140 and you can lock it in for a year. Only makes sense. That's why I'm telling you that. Then if you're smart, you'll realize you're probably sick. 92% of us are, right? Vitamin deficient. And you might need to take some of the product. That's the thing you're going to realize, right? So that's why I did it. Obviously didn't do it for a bigger house or none of that stuff, or a bigger car or none of that. That's not even why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because we're sick, right? We need to get well. And I felt like if we all would get on that regime, then it would enhance our brain cells. The electrolytes would start to fire off a lot faster. Numi helps as well to help those electrolytes fire off a lot faster. Some of you have probably noticed I've sped up in the last year and a half. That is 100%, I'm telling you, because I've introduced new things into my body. You heard it here. It's 100%. I'm saying this to you so you understand. I'm not jogging around the house. I do move faster, but I'm not jogging around the house, and I'm not doing a bunch of weightlifting and stuff like that. When I do that, you'll know. My body blows up like a balloon. It will be obvious to you. I'll get cut up and you'll be like, what's going on, right? And we're there. Brian's ready to do that, right? I'm ready, right? Okay, because I'm an athlete, and in my brain, I just keep pushing. I don't even think about it. It's not about how big I get. It's none of that stuff. I'm just going to get cut up, and we're going to go with it. And if I look like a 21-year-old, then I look like a 21-year-old with an old guy's head. I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. That's how this works, right? So we got all of that covered. In closing, I felt like if you have $100 that you can afford a month, the Baker's Dozen is going to make a lot of sense because it's going to push you in areas that are far outside of your comfort zone, and you can do it peacefully from your own home and still not miss Christmas. So I'm doing this video, I'm taking a little more time with it because I know a lot of people don't understand how I think, but I think big time. I don't think small. That's why our office over in Ghana, Boxbreaker, and keep in mind, Boxbreaker is just an affiliate of us. I'm going to say this out loud so you can hear it. Some of you probably don't even understand this. This was money I was going to give to his church. We did not sign a contract. That's not what this is. It's not a contractual business. Not like that. It is a mastermind, which means we are a trust-based situation. It's a private, trust-based situation. No contracts. Whatever he decides to do is what he decides to do. And I told him church comes first. That's what that is. Okay, so for those who may be confused, that's what that is. When it comes to Boxbreaker moving another office over in Kenya, keep in mind the monies that I gave him earlier allowed him to hold that office so he doesn't pay monthly rent. That's how that works. And that's pretty much how Africa works. But if you remember Kenya and Positivity, that's where those microloans are. So we're going to do some things to help introduce into other countries. And that will also bless Bishop, which means we can get the church built over in Ghana faster and over in Kenya faster, actual buildings. And I'm just really excited about that. We were talking about View It TV. So with View It, what's about to happen is Brian Lamont Roberts is going to go ahead and do Diamond VIP, a Diamond VIP network. And what that's going to do is allow me the opportunity to sell channels. So anyone in this room can get a channel on my network, right? It's $200 a month. But what this is Web3 TV, and it is plug and play because they set it up. And these guys invested about $60 million. This isn't some lightweight fantasy. This is a lot of money by a real Hollywood director who wants to affect change for the little guy, right? And so the monies actually are used through cryptocurrency. So you can do subscription services, you can do anything, teach on acting, music, introduce some music, maybe you self-produce some music, something you wanted to get out there, artwork window, that kind of stuff, right? That you can do, but you got to invest in yourself. I'm not going to invest in that for you. That's only $2,400 a month. That's a song. Okay. Now it plays into the leverage game that Brian Lamont Roberts loves. I love the leverage game, right? So that means you don't have much money. So your only investment is $200. Me, I've invested a lot of money, a couple $100,000. Because we're affiliated together, all ships have the opportunity to rise together. And so there's a lot of opportunities within View It that allow you to earn money. Meanwhile, I've already told you, I'm only gonna drop this dime one more time and I'm done. Once we start with Genius is Common, and once I really get plugged into Trenton's system, of pushing out those ads on SMSS token, there will be an organic difference in our following. There'll be some organic differences in what we are, okay? So I need you to understand that, okay? So this will be a way of us getting this done and doing this properly. And I'm super duper duper excited about it. Now, here's the lucky rabbit's foot. This would be Kevin Williams. And I'll drop some information in there. He is the owner. I thank Carlos Parr for introducing him to me 2 years ago. He had a New Hollywood project. Kevin's history is phenomenal. This is a gentleman who built a lot of stuff in Prince George's County. He's an architect already. Worked with some major development firms as an architect 30-something years ago. Has met some incredible people, decided to go into tech. Has a really righteous story. I mean, it's amazing the ministry work he's been able to do over in Africa. We're talking 30-something years ago. He got into film, actually purchased the Columbia Media School, right? Media production. So when I drop stuff in there about Columbia, we know the owner. Matter of fact, he's coming out here to Las Vegas. He's about to purchase another home out here in Vegas, and New Hollywood was about to be, just so you know, I never talked about it, but it was going to be a hotel project out here right off the strip. And so me meeting him organically again and getting reintroduced now personally, it's very similar to the time that I just went to New York City and Carlos was a few blocks away. So these moments are God in total. This is God just showing you, yo, I am God, which I told you he was going to do. And he generally does this coming off a 21-day fast. I don't know if you paid attention, but he does. Okay. So Kevin and I have talked like brothers. We probably spent about 9 hours, and I was only gone for a short time talking, because last night, 3 hours on the phone. And this brother is a ministry partner of mine. I mean, I could just, I don't have to ask about a divine connection when it comes with God and saving your souls and all those things. And so New Hollywood was the idea. If you've ever seen something and thought to yourself, man, I don't really want to go that direction. Well, I had that thought years ago, 8 years ago to be exact. And that's one of the reasons I pray as much as I do, because I said, God, I don't want my journey to change just because I'm coming out to LA. I don't want to become some other guy, which is what they kind of ask. And so as we unfold New Hollywood out, I want you to really pay attention to what you have access to. I can't tell you who's behind it. I'll just tell you that Kevin is behind it, but I will say some things that, some major people, major people. And you've seen a lot of manifestations of major people. Don't wait. Don't be the person to wait. I don't have time to play games with you. I am not a hype man. I'm just a promoter, which means I will tell you like a TI is, and you need to pick up the pixie sticks along the way. That's for you to do, not for me to do for you. So I'm gonna make one book recommendation for you. All right. So, we always talk about how to win friends and influence people, right? The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. This one here is a national bestseller. This is called First Things First. First Things First. You can get it very inexpensively. I actually found it on Amazon Paperbook. Actually, it was, no, I found this one at Goodwill for $3.99. Are you serious? Not even used. $3.99. And that goes to show you that people, they don't value books anymore. And that's cool. Do your digital book. I don't care. Do whatever you got to do, because I'll pick up all these I possibly humanly can. First Things First. So I'm going to read this off to you. It says national bestseller. I'm getting more done in less time. Who wouldn't want to do that? But where are the rich relationships, the inner peace, the balance, the confidence that I'm doing what matters most and doing it well? Does this nagging question haunt you? Even when you feel you are being your most efficient? If so, First Things First can help you understand why so often our first things aren't first. Rather than offering you another clock, First Things First provides you with a compass, because where you're headed is more important than how fast you're going. I'm gonna give a tip of the hat to Henry and to Derek. These guys both worked with the Department of Defense. I met them the other day. We had lunch or had dinner. They're both from Ghana. Their families are, and have some opportunities in Ghana that they want to utilize. But these guys are very heavy guys. I mean, I've found Joshua. Like, that's where we are right now. I just want you to know that. Also had a chance to talk to Uni, which I'm going to follow up with him probably today and see those areas of opportunity that he and I can talk about. His group is from Charleston, South Carolina, but also have opportunities in Ghana. So we are moving on the move. Dr. Ariana, had a nice conversation with her, told her my intention to purchase a hotel. She said, you can buy mine, Brian. I got one in Zimbabwe. I want you guys to understand. I don't want you to look up and I'm on some exotic beach in Zimbabwe at a 5-star hotel that I own. I'm giving you an opportunity to tap in. God bless. Love you all to life. See you on the other side. This is the quarterly review. We about to kick this quarter in the behind. Third quarter was awesome.